What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Tonight's episode of Box Office or Bust. This was one we had been waiting for. We have Tenet, and then we have Mulan. Tenet in theaters, Mulan exclusively on Disney+, and then I will give you a small update on how Bill and Ted 3 is doing exclusively on streaming and a little bit in theaters. But let's talk about Tenet. Tenet is what we all want to know. Now, $200 million movie to make. Just to make $225 million. Then you add in their marketing campaigns, not once, but twice because of the whole phenomenon situation. You are bringing your grand total of Tenet to close to $500 million that this movie has got to make just to break even. Not even making a profit, just to break even. How well did it do? Well, domestically, $20.2 million. $20.2 million. Now, take into account, LA is still closed. New York is still closed. Big cities are still closed because of the phenomenon and because of seat spacing issues. You're not selling as many tickets. So unfortunately, all of these factors have determined that yet even a big, giant Christopher Nolan blockbuster cannot pull in the people to leave their homes to go and see a movie at the theater, unfortunately. Now, this, I have to say, 20.2 is shockingly low for Tenet. I was talking to a few people about this before. They were predicting 100 million. They were predicting 150 million. Well, this movie made close to $150 million worldwide. 30 million alone just in China, which I guess is pretty good. Pretty good for China. I'm not really sure. $150 million worldwide. We're only about a third of where we need to get to break even with this movie. I have to say 20.2 million is quite the disappointment, and I'm sure the mixed reviews from this movie and the B Cinema score does not really help its situation, and I believe it's only going to go down from here. It's probably going to remain the #1 movie until October hits, because we don't have any more new releases until Wonder Woman 1984, and I'll get to that subject in just a second. But Tenet underperformed, in my opinion, and I knew this was going to happen. Everyone was saying, Tenet is going to save movie theaters. It is going to bring people in. It's a Christopher Nolan. We've been waiting for this. Does not matter. It does not matter. It did not do well in the North American box office with only 20.2 million. I'm sorry to say. Now the big question is, what about Mulan? Charging the $30 extra per household. Did that work? Unfortunately, I don't have news on that situation because Disney Plus is not releasing those numbers just yet. So I'm not sure exactly how much extra money they made off of this, but I can guarantee you one thing. If it was a lot and if it was successful, then they're probably going to do the same thing to Black Widow and any other future Disney releases. Now, what about Bill and Ted Face the Music? How is that doing over on demand and a little bit in theaters? Well, I have no idea how it's doing in theaters. Probably not good, because it's not even in the top 5. So, not good. Not good at all. However, video on demand, last week, it was #1, and then all 3 of them together was #2. So we thought, wow, this is doing really well. Unfortunately, Bill and Ted Face the Music has dropped to #3 on iTunes. So it's really not holding up well. I kind of had the feeling that this would happen because the first weekend, you're there for the nostalgia and for Keanu Reeves and everything. But after the first weekend, it's like, okay, I'm over this. I'm going to move on. And I think everyone else has moved on because it dropped to #3. So what does this mean for Wonder Woman 1984? Because as I mentioned, that is the next new big release. I think it's the only new release coming up October 2nd. Well, they have some major decisions to make because I do not know if Warner Brothers wants to put out Wonder Woman 1984 with how badly Tenet did at the box office, because honestly, these numbers are probably not going to go up. They only go down from here, and it is quite the disappointment. So they really have to think about what they want to do. Do they want to take the risk and put it out into theaters on October 2nd? Because by that point, I'm sure more movie theaters will open, possibly New York and LA markets, meaning more money. Or do they want to play it safe? By then, I'm sure Disney will be releasing Mulan's numbers. And if Mulan's numbers are really, really high because of what they did with the whole premiere extra button over on Disney Plus, Warner Brothers might do the same thing with Wonder Woman 84 over on HBO Max. And if they decide to do that, this might be the new trend of our movies. Just think. This all depends on one movie, Tenet, how well or how badly it did at the box office. We now have our blueprint of how things are going, and unfortunately, I have to say, it did not do well for Tenet, and everyone expected this to save our movie theaters and to save cinema, and in my opinion, it's just not doing it. So Wonder Woman 84 and Warner Brothers and everyone over on DC really have to make a decision on what they want to do, because do they want to release this movie out in a so-so environment? I'm not sure. So they got a lot of thinking to do. We're probably going to hear something this coming week because it is cutting it way, way too close. They already put out their second trailer. I don't know if they want to delay it yet again or if they just want to put it out on streaming. I have no idea. I say just get it out there. Just get it out there. Plus, if they did that and they went to HBO Max, they would bump up HBO Max's subscribers, because I don't believe it's that many. They do have some, but it could use some improvement. But if they do that, they're going to have to lower the subscription price for HBO Max, because I hear that is a little bit high, about $14, $15. So they probably should take that down. If they do the premiere, it might just work out. I don't know. But that is what's going on at the box office. Okay, let's cover the other movies. New Mutants, number 2, it dropped 65%. Why they did this and they demanded to put this out into theaters, I have no idea. It did not do well whatsoever. It's tanking. It's completely tanking. They should have just put it out on Disney Plus. And then Unhinged dropped 35%, I believe. So all of these movie numbers that we're seeing, it's like we're stuck in 1950 or something. All of these totals are so low. They are nothing to what we expected. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see where we are going from here. So I'm not sure what's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. I am hoping that we are going to hear something about Mulan's numbers, because I really, really do want to see and hear how much they really earned doing this premiere button. Because if it was a major success, that's probably going to be a deciding factor for a lot of our future movies coming out. So let me know down below. Did you go and see Tenet this weekend? Were you a supporter, or did you choose to stay home and watch Mulan? Please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.